Cancer, it's a word that's scary to hear no matter your age or circumstance. Among the more than 100 types, Ewing sarcoma is one relatively rare cancer.
Only about 200 children are diagnosed each year, according to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. But as it turns out, it may not be that uncommon in our area.
Tonight, in the first of a two-part series, KWQC's Bailey Dietz brings us the stories of several local families facing with that battle now. They are fighting for more than survival.
This picture was taken at a
friend's wedding.
Moments in time cherished forever. Brian and Nancy Stroop flipped through pictures of their son Nick reliving the good years.
Still not a day goes by that we don't think about him and miss him.
He'd been dealing with back pain for several years when at 24, doctors found a tumor on Nick's rib. The diagnosis, Ewing sarcoma.
We were terrified at first, and then once we knew the extent of the disease, it was just a matter of you just hang on by your fingernails.
The family didn't know much about the disease, but quickly learned that it's rare.
We only have 200, 300 cases in our whole country a year.
And it's aggressive.
It can spread then to other bones and to the lungs.
Dr. James Petrie has seen a couple of cases as a local family physician.
Sometimes difficult to diagnose. They can be as simple as just bone pain or joint pain, can be a sports injury. Some people think of it as growing pains, which can delay diagnosis.
That may have been the case for Nick Strube, but he was determined for a good outcome.
I mean, he was optimistic the whole time, always saying, "I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm gonna beat this."
Seemingly he had. Nick got married, built a house, moved on with his life.
He was a young man starting his career.
Then, after a year of being cancer-free, the pain returned. And in November 2011, Nick lost his battle with Ewing sarcoma.
So this picture is very important. This is the only time that Uncle Nick, got to meet my daughter.
Sister-in-law Holly Larson also holds on to happy moments shared with Nick. Beyond what's displayed on a shelf, the family knew they wanted to do more.
And so it became more important, I think, to not only celebrate Nick's life and honor him, but to do something good with his memory.
And so the Nick Teddy Foundation was formed in honor of Nicholas Theodore Strube. Each September, Nick's hometown of Port Byron goes from being a quiet community on the river into a town swelling with runners and walkers for a 5K race that grows each year.
That first event, we raised close to $20,000, and so it was sort of like, wow, like we really can, like small grassroots effort can really make a big impact.
Money to go toward research, because through this journey, the family also learned how little funding goes toward Ewing sarcoma.
That's part of our mission, is to try to change that.
While more kids in the U.S. die from childhood cancers than any other disease, childhood cancers only get 4% of all federal cancer research funding.
After 5 years, the Nick Teddy Foundation is nearing $150,000 raised. In addition to raising money for Ewing sarcoma research and awareness, some of the money is directly helping others.
We were surprised, like anybody else, to find out how many cases there were locally.
Numerous families they've connected with facing the same fight.
I mean, it's pretty amazing. I know initially it was a little challenging to reach out and talk to people, simply because our story didn't end the way that they probably hope their story ends.
They all know that we can't fix anything. You know, it's their fight and we can't do it, but taking the pressure off is pretty satisfying when somebody says, you know, that really helped me out.
It becomes very rewarding to see that we've made an impact.